Hello and welcome to a new video. My name is Karim, if you don't know, and today we're going to talk about the philosophy behind your environment. So, at least my philosophy on your environment. So, I just feel like we're diving right into the system and hopefully teach us something today. So, everything will start with action and thoughts. Why? So, of your environment does always do actions, right? So, from the actions that your environment do, you build thoughts into your mind. And from that, you build your own actions, expecting from these thoughts that you've gotten, because your life is a byproduct of your thoughts that you have, and that is true. So, have you ever thought about saying something about someone or something? Maybe we could take a teacher in this example and been like, said to your friend, hey Oscar, uh, what do you like? Hey Oscar, do you know Miss Greta? And at first, he just expressing his feelings about Greta just before you said your thing. So he says something like, "Yeah, Greta, she's the awesome teacher that we have. I love her." And from the beginning, you maybe wanted to say something negative about Greta, but just because Oliver said this about Greta, you immediately change your thought system about Greta, and like you don't even express the negative feeling that you felt about her in the beginning. So if that has ever happened to you, that is just because our environment like changes our thoughts like this. Just see like any girl or guy that have like a politician parent and are like, if they are extreme right in the family, like the kids are extreme rights too. And yeah, so that was an quite good example of the thought process. What that comes to is your actions. So based on your actions, you do get brainwashed. Why? Because when you do certain actions and when you do certain like certain thoughts, you're getting brainwashed, either by your environment and yourself, or like just yourself. So maybe you're getting brainwashed from overthinking or anything like that. And basically, why that is because the mind doesn't know the difference between, like, if you're just like thinking about something if you're thinking about something that isn't true or is true. So for example, if I'm not good at math and I say to myself 100 times that I'm good at math, for equivalent, maybe like the 50th time I said it, I maybe start to think I'm a little bit better at math. I don't know if you've heard the story, but basically, it was a guy who did a test in the school, and he came out with the best results ever. And he weren't good at math, and like it was a math test, and he was never good at math. But one day he did this test, and he got like the best results ever. And from that, he got like multiple opportunities, and from that day when he got his like test answers, he became like one of the greatest in like math. Like it's crazy, and he ended up like working for NASA or anything like that. And after maybe 6 years, he got a mail where it's to like, oh, these results wasn't yours. So they have they had in his school um give him like the wrong results, and the other person that got his results got rejected and didn't pass the test. And that person didn't work at a good job at all, but that person was the real person getting the good answers. Like, so it's kind of crazy that one of the main things that are keeping us back is our limiting beliefs, and that comes to brainwashing. So he got brainwashed, and what that comes to is that he changed his standards, right? So I see the life as like standards. So I don't think it's a good way to say like I will do my best, or someone says like, yeah, do your best at this thing, and because I don't think that you can keep the do your best like in the long term, right? So if maybe I'm going to play soccer, maybe I can like do my best like for 1 hour, but really what you want to change is your standards, right? So let's say that our standards our standards is here, and our best is here. And right now you're living to your like minimum standards, right? So let's say that our minimum standards is here. So do you know when you play a game and your friend maybe is like going to win over you, and you think like, no, like I will not let Oliver win over me at Mario, for example. That is because that is your lowest standard. Like you can't think about fucking Oliver winning at you in Mario, because you think that Oliver is the like baddest guy at Mario. So you will not let him that. So you go down to your like bottom standard. But here's where you like are in a daily basis, right? And here is your best, let's say. So what you want to do here is to change this. So instead, so let's say here, and here's your bottom standards. Here's your standard, here's your bottom standard, and here's your best, right? I'll not even try to write that. All right. And what you want to do is that you change your bottom standard. So, and that comes from your environment. So let's say, for example, a example of Alex Hermosi talking with his friend. If you don't know Alex Hermosi, he's like a crazy entrepreneur that does a lot of things, and have like he has a company called acquisition.com that is a portfolio company where they invest in businesses. And basically he had a story where his billionaire friend asked him like what to do with personal branding, because he wanted to get into that world, right? And Alex said like, how many posts do you upload a week? And he said like, yeah, it's all right, I upload once a day. And Alex said, oh, like we upload 350 times a week. And his billionaire friend answered with, thank you for raising my minimum standard. And what he actually means about that is that before, his minimum standard was maybe here. And his minimum standard maybe was like, all right, so post four times a week, and his like normal standard was posting once a day. And if he did his best, he would maybe like post 4 times a day. That would be like his best, right? But after that, it's like you can't go over that, right? So what you want to do is that you change that. So you have your minimum standard here, you have your normal standard here, and you have your best here. So this is like a, like, I don't know how to express it, but like step by step process of always getting better, like a progressive overload. So now his minimum standard got into 4 posts a week. His normal is like no his normal is his minimum standard is 4 posts a week, a day, 4 day. I'm sorry for my writing. And his like normal standard maybe is 6 times a day, and like his best maybe is, I don't know, 15 times a day, let's say, for example. So what he has done here is that from the beginning his minimum standard was 4 times a week, and now his minimum standard is 4 times a day. And why did this happen? So if we go down here, he got brainwashed to, he got a thought that brainwashed him, like from other actions, right? So Alex did a action that made him to think, that wanted him to get like do the same actions, because he like changed his whole like mythology about posting like content. So then he got brainwashed to like raise his standards. And what that ultimately did to him was that his now like normal standard is 6 times a day versus 1 time a day. And all of this just because his environment, right? So he had a good friend of him, like besides him, to like change his standards, right? So if you're with bad people, you will even get lower standards than the average person. And that is why you can't compete and succeed in like the thing that you want to succeed in, because people have so much higher standards that you can't even keep up with them. And that is why you need to change environment. If you like, you need to get brainwashed if you want to like succeed. And that's why maybe almost all the persons that are at the top like 0.001%, they're always the first, and they're always like the most delusional people, because no one can even compare to their standards when it comes to generating results, when it comes to philosophy, when it comes to like the vision of them, theirs. So when you have higher standards, it's ultimately much easier to succeed, right? And when you finally succeed, it comes to the status. And what do I mean by that? So status is something that is everywhere, right? So maybe in your friend group you have like status. And have you ever been in a friend group or seen a girl with a rich dad, and she has a pool and everyone wants to be with her, but then you are with her and you don't even like You don't even get it. Like, why are people with this girl? She's just mean. She's not funny. Like, nothing. And that is because she has high status, and that comes from like other things. All right, but you get to decide where you want to collect your status, right? So you can decide whether you want to be cool for like this group or this group. I will actually write this out. So let's say you have a group here, and let's say you have a group here. Let's say that this group is like the successful people that you want to be with, right? So, and let's say that this is your current friends. Your current friends doesn't have any ambition, they don't have any goals or anything, and you are here. So really, now you have to decide, because when you're cool here and you have high status here, you ultimately have lower status here. And why is that? Because this is two different worlds. So I can give you an example of mine that I had like very high status when I was with my when I were with my old friends, but really I didn't have status for these, like the persons that I wanted to be like, and the guy that I wanted to become, because in my success I needed to upload posts, I need to like do marketing, like I need to say no to certain things just to like have my goals and everything, and that isn't cool in this ball, right? So in this group. So I had to decide, and there was one day that I ultimately just decided I don't want to be cool for these people. I don't care, and I can be nerdy, like, or like I can be like, yeah, a nerd for these people just to be like the cool guy here, because this is who I want to be. And if you find yourself in this situation, please think of this, and make a change and take actions on your everyday life, right? So with this, when it comes to status, and you have like this success, because success, maybe like I had success in this group, but it wasn't the success that I wanted, right? So I need to go back to zero. I needed to go back to zero here, so I could just like here, like I need to go to level zero to get to level one again. I need to downgrade here to upgrade here, right? So, and when you are in this position, you get to decide how you want to treat your relations. So your relations change, and your like relation you can your relation can change positively, and your relations can change negatively. So what I mean by that is that if you change your relation and start like treating people different, that can be like positive and negative. For example, I started to treat people different, but that was positive because I got to my goal and I didn't like say mean things to them, and like stuff like that. I just changed like how I talk to them, how I like let them treat me, and everything like that. And that is something that you need to do, right? because you can't have the exact same relations and the exact like environment and still like level up here. It doesn't work. It's totally impossible, right? So, and then I changed my relations with certain people that was negative, because 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 sometimes you don't know, right? And I will not go in depth by that because I just like I haven't treated some like many people negatively, so I don't have like really good examples of that. But I know people that treat like their family negatively, like their best friends negatively. So that I don't stand like behind that. And yeah, that was like kind of everything about this. So hope you find some value in this video. And if you have a agency, I have a company which help agencies get 10 clients within 120 days. And if you don't get that, you get a refund plus $500 plus our whole outbound system. So yeah, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and follow me on Snapchat. So on Instagram, my name is, I have it in the description. And yeah, see you guys. Bye.